Well, hello there guys. It's me, Kid Bomber. Some of you might recognise me from a previous video. I probably have appreciate you guys for support my creativity as well as, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. So I'm so glad to see you all came back to join me on this brand new video. I'll be doing another read aloud video for you guys. It seems like you feel interested to listen and learn for story time together. So hereby, I have got Disney Princess, The Princess and the Frog. It was published by Disney's Wonderful of Reading. I think some of you are quite familiar with those Disney books. So, before we begin reading, what I intend to do, I'll go read by words and also showing some most magnificent pictures from each page. So if you're ready, yes, that's perfect. I'm glad you came to the right place. So let's begin. One evening, a girl called Tiana was sitting in the New Orleans mansion of her friend Charlotte. Together, they were listening to Tiana's mother, Eudora, tell them a story about the prince who had been turned into a frog. There was no way in this whole wide world I would never, ever, never kiss a frog. Yuck, Tiana insisted. I would kiss 100 frogs if I could marry the prince and be the princess, Charlotte exclaimed. At bedtime that night, Tiana's parents encouraged her to wish on the evening star. Tiana and her father, James, dreamed of opening the restaurant someday at the old sugar mill down by the river. So that would be her wish. James gently reminded his daughter that she could help her dream come true. With some hard work, then, looking at his family, he said, just never lose sight of what's really important. Years went by. Tiana's father died, but she held on to their dream to save money for her restaurant. She worked very hard as a waitress. She rarely had time for fun. One day, a glamorous visitor arrived in New Orleans. Handsome Prince Naveen of Madolia. Naveen didn't seem like a typical prince. He liked to play jazz and have fun. Naveen's valet, Florence, wasn't so happy-go-lucky, but then poor Lawrence had to carry all the cases. Tiana was far too busy to pay attention to a prince, but she was delighted when Charlotte came to call with her witch father, Big Daddy, Labouff. Did you hear? Bubbled Charlotte. Big Daddy invited Prince Naveen to our masquerade ball tonight. Beaming, she added, I'm going to need about 500 of your man catching Benjamins. Charlotte's payment for bagnets meant that Tiana finally had enough money to make an offer for the old sugar mill and turn it into her dream restaurant. She met the owners, the Fenner brothers, and struck the deal Table for one, please, called a voice behind Tiana. It was her mother, with a very special present, her father's old gumbo pot. Meanwhile, in the French Quarter, Naveen and Lawrence had been lured into the lair of a strange man called Dr Facilier. He promised that he could give them everything their hearts desired, but Facilier was a sorcerer, and he held an evil plan in mind. The room came alive with a bad magic. The spell was cast. At the mansion, Prince Naveen made a grand entrance to a masquerade. Tiana had delivered her bagnets and was dressed up for the party, but then she met the Fenner brothers. They had bad news. The sugar mill deal was off. Fella came in offering the full amount in cash, said one of the brothers, unless you can top his offer by Wednesday. Tiana was crushed. As she reached out to plead with them, Tiana toppled into her own bagnet stand and ruined her dress. Charlotte was very kind. She took Tiana upstairs to her room and loaned her a beautiful gown worthy of a princess. Tiana stood on the balcony and looked at the twinkling evening star. I cannot believe I'm doing this, she said, as she made a wish she would get her restaurant. When she was finished, she opened her eyes and saw the frog. I suppose you want me to kiss you, said Tiana. Kissing would be nice. Yes, said the frog. Tiana shrieked and ran back into the room. Please allow me to introduce myself, begged the frog. I am Prince Naveen of Madonia. But if a frog was a Prince Naveen, who was that dancing with Charlotte? Naveen explained that Tiana's kiss would transform him back into the human. Surely I could offer you some type of reward, he begged. Tiana felt sorry for the little frog. Plus, she really did want her restaurant. And though it went against all her beliefs, and she leaned in, she unclosed her eyes and kissed him. Puff! Screamed Tiana. The magic had gone wrong. The frog had not turned into a prince. Instead, the princess had turned into a frog. It didn't happen like that in the stories, but then Tiana wasn't really a princess. She had just been dressed up as one. Frantic, the two frogs jumped out of the window. Meanwhile, the prince confessed to Dr Facilier that he had accidentally let the frog escape. The doctor had used his magic to change Prince Naveen into the frog and make Lawrence look like Nathan, he wanted Charlotte to marry a fake prince, so fake that he could get his hands on Big Daddy's money. But Facilier needed a frog to refill the talisman around Lauren's neck to keep him looking like Nathan. By now, Tiana and Nathan had reached the bayou. They made a raft and Tiana steered it while lazy. Nathan took it easy, but then a huge alligator popped up from the water. Luckily, alligator just wanted to talk about jazz music. His name was Louis, and he had a beautiful trumpet called Gazelle. Tiana explained that she and Nathan weren't really frogs. They were under the spell. Louis knew someone who could help them. Mama Odie, she's got magic, he said. On the way to Mama Odie's home, they met a firefly called Way, with a glowing tail, and had a brush with a troll of ruthless frog hunters. Nathan bravely helped Tiana escape their clutches, and Tiana began to realize that Nathan had some good qualities after all. As they floated down the river, the four friends looked up at the night sky. There's Evangeline, said Way. She is the prettiest firefly that ever did glow. But Tiana knew that Way was really looking at the evening star. Louis played his trumpet softly, while Tiana and Nathan danced on the lily pad. What a perfect romantic evening! Dr Facilier sent dark shadow spirits to find Nathan, but they arrived at Mama Odie's home too late. Boom! Mama Odie cast a dazzling spell and drove the shadows away. Not bad for a 197-year-old blind lady, she said. Her home was an old shrimp boat nestling in the tree, and she had a pet snake called Juju. Mama Odie knew why the frogs had come. They wanted her to make them humans again. Mama Odie conjured an image in the tub of gumbo. It showed Charlotte and her father. Big Daddy was to be a king of Mardi Gras, and that would make Charlotte a princess if Nathan kissed Charlotte the princess until midnight. He and Tiana would both be human again. The friends jumped on the riverboat and jogged back to the New Orleans. Nathan confessed to Way that he had fallen in love with Tiana, but before he could declare his love to Tiana, she excitedly pointed out the sugar mill. Suddenly, Naveen realized that he did not have enough money to help Tiana get what she wanted. the most. He would never be able to help buy the sugar mill by tomorrow's deadline, sadly. Naveen walked away. But poor Naveen didn't get far. He was captured by the shadow spirits and taken to Dr Facilier. "Ah, much obliged, gentlemen," said Facilier to the shadows. With a magic refilled in the talisman, Lawrence turned back into the handsome prince. Facilier locked Naveen inside a small chest and carried him off. The fake prince soon won Charlotte's heart. Their wedding was to be a part of the Mardi Gras parade. Ray and Tiana raced back to the watch. Tiana didn't realize that this prince was Lawrence in disguise. She couldn't understand how her beloved Naveen could marry someone else. But Ray knew that Naveen would never do that. He went searching for his friend and found him locked in the chest. Ray soon set Naveen free. Just as Bogar's prince was about to say "I'll do," Naveen grabbed the magic charm from around his neck and tossed it to Ray. He flew off with it. Facilier chased after him while Lawrence turned back into himself and stayed hidden. At the cemetery, Ray tossed the talisman to Tiana just before Facilier knocked him to the ground and stepped on him. Facilier tried to persuade Tiana to give him the charm, but Tiana remembered what her daddy had told her about never losing sight of what is important. She threw it to the ground and smashed it. The shadows turned on Facilier, and soon all that was left of him was his top hat. Naveen found Charlotte and explained everything to her. If she kissed him before midnight, he and Tiana would become human. Then he would marry Charlotte. If she would give Tiana money to buy the sugar mill. "Wait," Tiana shouted. Naveen turned to her in surprise. "My dream wouldn't be complete without you in it." Realizing her friend was in love, Charlotte looked at Naveen. "I'll kiss you, Your Highness. No marriage required." But her kiss was too late. The clock struck midnight. Charlotte was no longer Mardi Gras princess. They had missed their dance. Tiana and Naveen were still frogs, but they had found true love. Sadly, their joy was interrupted when Louis appeared, carrying the leaf with her injured Ray on it. Naveen told Ray, "We are staying together." "I like that very much," Ray said. Evangeline likes that too. Then his little light flickered out for a last time. When Ray's friends looked up, there was a new star next to the evening star. Ray had been right. True love always finds a way. In the morning, Tiana and Naveen got married. As Naveen kissed his new wife and he and Tiana turned back to humans. Once you became a wife, that made you Naveen began a princess. Tiana finished. You've just kissed a princess. Later, Tiana and Naveen got married again, this time with all their friends and family in attendance. But the new wild couple didn't become lazy. They did buy their restaurant, and the food was the best anyone had ever tasted. The music, thanks to Lewis, was swinging. Everyone agreed that Tiana's palace was special. Finally, Tiana had everything she had ever dreamed of. The end. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Listen to me when I read this book of Disney's The Princess and the Frog in a part of Disney's 100-year anniversary celebration behind the magical legacy of the animation studios. It has been founded in 1923. So, that's it for all, guys. So, I hope you stay tuned for the next video, and always remember to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit this bell notification, or you can always find me on social media. Find the video description below. It's Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok and Pinterest. You can always support me there as well to support my creativity as well. Okay, guys, so I better off now. So I'll see you next time, and thank you very much.